long-term.
Okay.
So we have
So kind of like
15.
Angie's list of
Absolutely.
what you
Absolutely.
out there. But when you say reach, I know you talked about you have listings and things
Yeah,
that
but that's
you
different,
use
that's different construction. So that's
during
more,
construction.
that's more construction related. But our asset managers need to find a way to reach them long-term, to advise the projects, to help to.
And is it broader than just construction?
Yes, absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
whatever services might be
Absolutely.
needed.
Cleaning,
So,
landscaping, everything. And we used to have just housing, but now we're having commercial also, so our database of projects is getting larger. And we always have goals in it, of 10, 15, 20%.
so developing long-term relationships and evaluating how the relationship is going.
Right, so that there might be some, 4 stars, 3 stars.
Hi.
Hi. Someone
You can see it.
I
Is
apologize
that
for
right?
my
You see
tardiness.
sneaking in. You did that very skillful.
I'm a colleague of Jim Morales. I work for Tatum. My name is Zebulon Egbert. And I apologize. I haven't heard the first pieces of the discussion. But it sounds like we're kind of talking about what we want to get out of this,
Yes,
or some
exactly.
commonalities. I'm here with an open mind. Currently, our organization, if I speak personally and professionally, is made up of the 50 to 60-year-old CFO type that has traditionally been of one color. And not only do we want to look internally to our organization to see what assets we have or what assets we can leverage through diversity, but also into our clients. Typically, we go into a client, it's not always top of mind. So I come here with an open mind to understand where the dialogue is and how we may be able to better ourselves through diversity efforts.
Kind of broadening a pool of diversity professionals with clients and that you're working with.
I mean, I would just kind of further on that, being able to be a referral source, businesses that we do referrals for, in addition to, attracting a more diversity workforce for us. And then again, I would like to start doing some more events and more community outreach and just get more educated. So I know that the survey that Georgia is putting on, I want to get a little bit more information on that and how I can do my community service system with those efforts.
And for me, I'm on the other end. I'm the minority vendor, and so what I want to do is find out how to get from you. How do you learn about Supplier?
At I&E, we use the term purchasers to describe the companies that are looking at using MDEs. Suppliers is the other term we use. So, get in front of purchasers. And you and I chatted a little bit about what you're thinking, also specifically in front of some of the supplier diversity people as a way to get into some hobbies.
Right, to figure out what's the best way to approach an organization and say, this is what I do, and if they're willing to pay what I do, and since I'm a vendor now,
We've got an hour, so if we could try to keep an eye maybe on timing, because any one of these can take us off in wide directions for an extended period of time. I'll try to keep an eye on our timing as we go, and just addressing each of the questions as we go through. And more dialogue. So, in addressing Mark's question, I guess, Ben, you want to start with that?
Sure, I think it's an important question because our experience tells us that the range of interest in Supplier diversity, supplier inclusion, of the inclusion of minority people in business runs from 0 to fairly high. Companies like IBM and Znesco and some of the large companies, and I'm focusing on companies now, but it also applies to government and quasi-government institutions across the board. The interest kind of is motivated by the CEOs and CFOs, the C-suite, sort of sets the tone for what the company will do. And even in that case, what it may impair, and I'm giving you some personal insight, even a motivated C-suite is affected by what happens 2 or 3 levels below. When sourcing directors, people who have direct responsibility for buying goods and services, may have the same idea and same motivation, or on the other hand, maybe just the opposite. So, the range of good news, for example, is I've worked with companies who are dedicated to it because they believe that there's a business rationale for diversity. They understand the community benefit. If you ask large retailers why they are interested in diversity, they will tell you that the people buying their goods are as diverse at this table as we are, and therefore they want it to be appealing to everyone. I have also had discussions with a sourcing manager who concluded that a particular minority company had made enough money, in his opinion, and so he wasn't going to be helpful any longer. Fortunately for us, that fellow is no longer with that company, and I decided not to dime him out, so to speak, but instead to get him motivated in the right direction. So with regard to the whys and wherefores, particularly as expressed by large companies, the range of interest is large, award-winning, and at the other end, not at all. So we tend to work with those companies that are at the end of, at the yes end. And I guess part of what I'm sharing is that even there, it is still a difficult arrangement depending on who has the authority to push the button. We think, for example, that the bidding process, that the search process is fundamentally flawed as it relates to supplier diversity. We think supplier diversity ought to be more like the search a university would have if they expect to diversify the teaching base or the student base. It's not done matter-of-factly. It's something you pursue aggressively. You search for the best talent in the places where that talent is likely to be found. You try to make that talent comfortable in your environment, even if it means adjusting the environment so that it's responsive to the person. That person, in order to be motivated, must, on one hand, be supported and urged along, and at the same time, given the proper level of critique so that they can advance in a solid way rather than superficially. That works on the HR side. That's how people advance. That's how people get to be better at what they do, and that's how they get to be in demand. We say the same thing like with Supply on the supply diversity side. That the excuse, our belief, is an excuse that they're too small, they're inexperienced, they don't know how to do business with us, is the excuse that has to be exploded. The mantra ought to be, there are fine companies that are existing in this milieu today. There are fine people who are existing in this milieu today. Our objective should be to help them grow, gain scale, and improve their competitive ability. That's our mantra. To that end, we never start with no. We start with what's possible. We start with, given your capacity, what part of what's out there can you do? And let us help to provide you with the support you need. But also let us interact with the source, the purchaser, the source of the contract you're looking to So circling back in an attempt to answer that question, the range of interests is broad. We believe you start with those who are most motivated, and even there, you work to give them guidance on how to find this lead and best work behind the scenes for what you need to give the best she can give from her company.
I'm thinking about the strategies and taking them out. You find you're asking about motivation, and talk a little bit about the motivation these companies have. And there's a number of different types of motivation that drives them. Everything from the right reason, which is the right thing to do, to broaden out the supply diversity base, to a business case that indicates that we can perhaps do better from a cost standpoint, quality standpoint, as well as be able to open the doors to start to supply diversity where you want to go is that business objectives and business case. And there are times when organizations are driven regulatory. Maybe some of the things that you end up with, if you're using federal money and state money requirements that in those packages often for minority business participation and percentages and things like that. So, and that's not just in the contracting world, that can happen in other worlds. We have one large purchaser that we work with that is very enlightened on supply diversity, but they look to their vendors, ad agencies, other types of organizations to say, what are you doing in supplier diversity yourselves? And we're going to think about how much business we do with you based on what you're doing for yourself in terms of broadening out minority women participation, reformers minority women participating in businesses and so forth. So there are a variety of motivations that drive companies to think about this. Though if you become aware of that from an opportunity standpoint, now let's shift to where some of the other questions were around what are the strategies? How do you go at advising clients? How do you go at businesses of different type and shape and market like Janine's, which is not unlike a number of our companies that I works with. Janine's business in terms of I'm talking to business, but the target market is wide. It's not like a subcontractor who has a limited number of generals that person is trying to attract attention from. Janine and other service companies obviously work with educational institutions, healthcare, runs the gamut, manufacturing, whatever it may be. So how you approach companies like that, what are the strategies to adapt that? I'm going to ask you if you can talk a little bit about how you've gone at that as you developed your company. But one of the things that Ben mentioned is the different levels in an organization. From the C-suite up above, where top commitment is critical to a successful program, down through diversity officers who have a responsibility for trying to help those companies become better. Hi, how you doing?
Come on, over here. Yep.
Sorry.
No,
okay.
that's fine. Come right in.
You know, it might be helpful, at least benefit some of the folks that aren't in these agreements, just to get your take, just so we set some context on how INE was started and how it differs from some of the other resources like the Greater New England Minority Supplier Development Council and Supplier Diversification Office, just so we have a sense of, how it started, how you differentiate, and how you take on what your criteria for portfolio companies.
Would you introduce yourself to us?
Oh, yes, sure. I'm Jennifer.